Hi, everyone. So, when you're enjoying a pour of your favorite bourbon, did you ever stop and think about what actually gives that bourbon the wonderful taste and flavors that you're enjoying? Well, it actually starts with something that happens before any of that distillate even gets put in the barrel. And that something is barrel charring. Now, one of the requirements to make a bourbon, and one of the requirements a bourbon must adhere to, is that it must be aged in new charred oak barrels. Not just new oak barrels, but new charred oak barrels. So, therefore, it's not only new, but it has to go through a process involved charring. So, one of the last steps before the bourbon distillate is put into the whiskey is this charring process. So what it is Coopers, and each distillery has contracts with cooperages. I think some may even have their own on site, but in general, distilleries have contracts with cooperages that make the barrels and will char the barrels specifically to the distillery specifications. And basically, they set these controlled fires in the barrels, they preheat them, and then it goes through a charring process. So what that is the charring process for the most part. There's four levels: char 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it ranges in terms of time from anywhere from 15 seconds to up to 60 seconds a minute. Okay, so basically, the four levels are kind of like this. Char level 1, I guess you can. I kind of read this somewhere, and it actually kind of makes sense. If you think about char number 1, think about when you order a steak rare. Okay, no, I don't think any distilleries do this. This is generally more like home distilling. If you're going to do something on your own, it's a 15-second char, and it could be something also where it's not even a bourbon. We're just going to give it a quick toast. But distilleries generally don't use it. It's mostly home distilling. It's 15 seconds, kind of called a flash char. 15 seconds and done. Char number 2 actually is the second most common flash time, even though still in general, I would say most distilleries don't use this. This is basically 20 to 30 seconds. And basically, it also is used sometimes to finish a barrel, but again, it's not the most common. It's the second most popular, but still not really used. Char number 3 is the one that most distilleries use. It is a time of 30 to 35 seconds. It's definitely the most popular. Most distilleries that make bourbons use this one, or whiskeys in general, but specifically bourbons. Char number 3, that's the one. And you can say char number 2, number 3. Char number 2, maybe if you order a medium steak. Char number 3, maybe medium well. Just the way I would kind of add that little twist. Char number 4, it's Wild Turkey right here. That is not every distillery uses it. Wild Turkey uses char number 4 for all of their products, and it's something that actually makes Wild Turkey what it is. And what that is it's a char of 55 to 60 seconds. I think maybe specifically 55, but definitely in the range of 55 seconds up to 60 seconds a minute. And that is a kind of like a well done char, kind of called an alligator char. That's what gives this bourbon the flavor that it has. It imparts the very deep notes that it has. But basically, what this charring process does, and there's a lot of chemistry to it, but basically it changes the oak, and basically promotes and enhances and causes all those wonderful flavors to come about in the aging process. The vanilla, the caramel, all the wonderful flavors you taste all start because of that process. It's kind of like it ignites that process, and it basically ignites the process between the wood and the whiskey and just gets the whole thing going. So that's pretty much the deal. But I'm enjoying some char number 4 here, Wild Turkey Rare Breed. But I thought it was such an interesting thing to go through, and that's what gives your bourbon the wonderful flavors that you enjoy. Take care. Cheers.